Welcome to Adult Crafternoon with the Calcasieu Parish Public Library. Today we're making joy jars.
Hi, I'm Katie with the Calcasieu Parish Public Library. Thank you for joining me for today's Adult Crafternoon joy jars. Today we're going to be making a joy jar. Well, what is that? Basically, you make a jar, you beautify it a little bit, and then you collect moments throughout your year. It can be anything, something as simple as a moment of joy you shared with a neighbor or a friend, and you write those down and you collect them. Then you can reflect back on them at some point in the future. And what I also love about joy jars is this is so versatile, meaning you can have this as a very personal experience where you collect your moments throughout the year, or you can make it a family affair. You can each have a joy jar, and then you can share with each other, maybe right before New Year's or on New Year's Day. It also makes a wonderful gift to encourage your friends and family to reminisce and hold graciousness in their hearts for those moments of joy. Well, are y'all ready to get started? Let's do this.
To make a joy jar, you really only need a couple of key items. Of course, you need a jar or a vase, but you can use this from anywhere. I used one from my kitchen cabinet. It's a great way to recycle glass jars. You'll need some paper that you can cut into strips. It can be colorful or just regular paper. You need scissors and glue, and then whatever decorations you choose to decorate your joy jar with. I used a couple of different things like twine, pretty elastic, beads, some stick-on decals, but really it's up to you, whatever you want to use. And this is just a look at some of the joy jars that I created to give you some ideas. For the vase, I used a beachy theme because the vase itself had that nice curve to it and it looked like something you might find in the ocean. For the jars from the kitchen, I just fancied them up a bit with pretty elastic and colorful tape and a decal. You can use whatever you want to make your joy jar special to you. So now you get to decorate your jar. And I love this colorful tape because it can be used in so many ways. It's perfect for fancying up the jar lids, which are just kind of plain, and the tape melds perfectly to the lids, and it's so fun to pick out the type of tape that fits your personality or that you would enjoy looking at all year. And if you're giving one of these as a gift, you can pick out some tape that matches your friend's personality or who you're giving the gift to. And it also helps to hide the expiration date. So I just used a jar from the kitchen, I think it was olives, and I emptied it out, cleaned it out real good, and got the sticky off of the glass itself. And pro tip, you can use fingernail polish remover to get off any sticky that's left once you remove the label from the jar. So then you can use your tape on top of the lid. You'll see in just a moment when I get the tape fully across the lid that the lip or the surround of the jar lid is still exposed. It's still the goldish color. So the tape is also perfect for just making a circle, a loop around that, and you can just press it down and you can't even tell. It just looks like it was meant to be. So you can get this colorful tape at any craft store and a lot of grocery stores. And I think just a moment here I'm going to show you. I'm going to go around the edge of the lid. And then I'm just going to press it down on top. So that's a fun use for it. You can also use the tape to go around the jar itself. And I don't do it in this video, but I used twine to make one of the joy jars. And another fun idea would be to make a tag that says joy jar and then use the twine or the pretty elastic, and it would just say right on it joy jar. So I just tied the elastic around and cut off the extra bits. And then I had these butterfly and flower decals laying around. You might use hot glue for yours, or just some kind of glue that dries quickly or is tacky. And then you can see, as I place the butterfly decal on the jar, how quickly it starts to look like something. I love the reuse of just the kitchen jars. I never know what to do with those glass jars, but it feels odd to throw glass away. So this is a perfect use for it. And then just let your glue dry, and voila. And of course, another major component to your joy jar is to have your paper. So I just took some colorful paper that was white on the back, so it was perfect for writing, and I just cut it into strips and little squares, and that way you have your paper ready to collect your moments, which you can do daily, weekly, monthly, or just whenever you feel like it. So I'm writing a moment of joy for myself. It was, I saw 2 redbirds today in the backyard. And that actually happened, and it did bring me a lot of joy. It would be something I may not remember in a year from now, but I'm going to collect it in my jar. And here's a look at my joy jar after I've collected lots of moments. Have fun! Thanks for joining us for today's Crafternoon. Keep checking back to our Facebook page so that you don't miss any of our fun spring programming.